Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. All right, listen, you guys. Diddy has been arrested. He's in federal custody. This is TMZ. They say Diddy was just taken into federal custody in New York Monday night. TMZ has learned. We're told Diddy was taken to the FBI field office in Manhattan. Okay, he's up there in New York. It appears the action was taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking, obviously, and other offenses that led to search warrants being issued and executed at Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills. Remember, it was about, 3-4 months ago. They went to the mansions down there in Miami and in Los Angeles, which he's now selling the Los Angeles mansion for, I believe, about $60 million, if I'm not mistaken. But a few months ago, we do know that Homeland Security did raid those mansions looking for evidence because, of course, there was a criminal investigation and they were trying to put together a grand jury and things like that, right? It says Diddy's attorney, Mr. Mark, somebody said, we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon. What does that have to do with anything? Self-made entrepreneur. What does that have to do with anything? Loving family man. If he was so loving, he wouldn't have been hitting on Cassie and some of the other women, but that's neither here nor there. And proven philanthropist. He's a philanthropist, but making people's lives a living hell. Okay. Who has spent the last 30 years building an empire and also stealing from the very same people who helped build that empire. I mean, I'm just saying. Adoring his children. Okay, I'm sure he's a great father. And working to uplift the black community. Working to uplift the black community is laughable. Okay. But listen, the lawyer adds he is an imperfect person, you think, but is not a criminal. Now, we all saw him assault Cassie on that videotape. Ain't assault and battery, isn't that a crime? Okay. And then now, I mean, to a larger crime, they're saying that he was sex trafficking. Okay. So it's going to be really interesting to see, like, to see what are the findings of this investigation, right? But the lawyer goes on to say, to his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. Listen, the feds will not arrest you. The feds are not going to come after you unless there's some really, 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 really damning evidence. The feds are not going to come and infiltrate your life unless there is some really, really damning evidence, okay? Child, it's a whole mess. So listen, of course, this comes off of the heels of all of those lawsuits. I was going to get on here a few days ago and talk about the Dawn. Is her name Richard? It used to be Dawn Richards, but I think she came out a few years ago and said that her new name is Dawn Richard. She has a new lawsuit, citing infliction of emotional distress, and there's so many instances in the lawsuit where she's, claiming that Cassie was beat up in public, in front of Neo, in front of Usher, in front of, what's that lady name who was on Love and Hip Hop? Kalila. Okay, 1/3 of Diddy Dirty Money and things like that. So listen, and then of course we had the Cassie lawsuit. There was recently a judgment. There was a $100 million judgment. Okay, there was one man that came out and said that he was sexually assaulted by him. It says Sean Diddy Combs, according to People Magazine, Sean Diddy Combs loses $100 million in default judgment to Michigan inmate in sexual assault lawsuit. The hip hop mogul did not show up to a virtual hearing, meaning the plaintiff is automatically awarded a default judgment of $100 million. I guess he's claiming that he was sexually assaulted. Okay. He claims that he was sexually assaulted by Sean Diddy Combs, drugged and assaulted him at a party nearly 30 years ago. And Sean Diddy Combs did not show up for the hearing, child. Okay. Wow. So yeah, and then there's been some other lawsuits. There was a lady, she says that early in his career, took this young lady to a studio and kind of like raped her and like recorded it and then showed it to his friends and this, that, and the third. I wrote a story about, I think it was the editor of Vibe magazine, if I'm not mistaken, how, he had threatened the editor of Vibe magazine when he didn't like the magazine cover, or he wasn't granted the opportunity to view the cover before the issue was issued, right? I guess he wanted to have the final say, and the editor over there at Vibe magazine said, "No, that's not how we do things." Threatened her. She did a whole op-ed in one of these big newspapers and whatnot. So yeah, anyways, I'm saying that to say that, people are coming out of the woodwork and they are exposing Mr. Sean Diddy Combs, and now the feds are involved. And so y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.